Hello. Welcome or welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be doing the next round of TBR Bingo. If you haven't seen the first videos, I'll have them linked in the cards as well as in the description. I have 24 spaces for prompts. I'm going to pick the prompts at random out of a select group of prompts. If you have any ideas, please put them in a comment. When I get a bingo, I get a token, which means I can buy a book. And when I get the Four Corners bingo, I only get half a token. I also get tokens for every 10 books I read and every 12 bingos I get. Another way I can get tokens is by completing readathons. Half a one for a week long, one for a month long, and a half token every 3 months for the year-long readathons. Each book can only fit one prompt, with the exception of 1 or 2 prompts, like read every day for a week. After the 3 months are up, I replace every crossed out prompt and leave the ones I didn't end up completing. Hopefully that all makes sense. If not, ask questions in the comments. Let's go through how it went the last 3 months. Okay, starting with the stats. I read 26 books in total. 9 in October, 7 in November, and 10 in December, with 3 DNFs. In terms of the amount of pages, I read 7,512. 2046 in October, 2499 in November, and 2967 in December, which is an average of around 81.5 pages per day and 288 per book. My average rating was a 3.38. I had 0, 1, 2, and 5 stars, 16 3 stars, and 10 4 stars. In terms of format, I read 4 physical books, 21 ebooks, and 1 audiobook. In terms of genres, I read 13 romances, 6 dystopian, 3 fantasies, 1 mystery, 1 contemporary, and 1 general fiction. I read 4 young adult and 22 adult books. I read 8 standalones, 6 first in a series, and continued in 5 series. And finally, in terms of authors, I read from 19 authors. 5 I read from before, and 14 were new to me. When I talk about these books, I'm gonna put full series together, so this isn't in reading order. Though I have done monthly wrap-ups in shorts for all 3 months, linked below. By Kayla Stone, I finished the Edge of Collapse series, with Edge of Darkness, a 3-star, Edge of Anarchy, Edge of Defiance, both 4 stars, Edge of Survival, Edge of Valor, and Edge of Everything, the 7.5 novella, sadly all getting 3 stars. This series presents a compelling post-apocalyptic narrative that is simultaneously engaging and flawed. The series maintains its core strength in character development, with diverse and authentic characters navigating a brutal post-EMP world. While the storytelling remains gripping, the later books suffer from pacing issues, with some perspectives feeling overextended and others left hanging, creating a sense of narrative imbalance. one or two villains too many. The writing continues to excel in depicting the gritty realities of survival, with nail-biting moments and intense character interactions. Despite predictable plot points, the series remains entertaining due to the strong character attachments and the author's skill in exploring how ordinary people respond to extraordinary circumstances. However, the 7-book series could have been more tightly constructed, potentially condensed into a more focused 4-book series. These were used for the prompts dystopian, not seen on book 2 by me, continue in a series, double length of the last read, and highest rated at a 4.58. And the novella was the 26th book that I didn't need to fit on the board. Next is What the Hex by Alexis Dario, a 3-star. This novella presents a cute rivals to lovers story infused with delightful witchy vibes, featuring a maid of honor and best man who must work together to exorcise a demon from the groom. While the premise is engaging, the execution feels rushed, particularly concerning the drama surrounding the demon possession and the resolution of the romance. The characters, though potentially fun and quirky, remain one-dimensional due to the novella's brevity, leaving little room for development or depth. The plot's implausibility, especially the idea that hooking up with one's arch-nemesis in front of family is somehow less conspicuous than performing a spell, adds a level of silliness that I found entertaining. However, the lack of urgency in addressing the possessed family members feels oddly misplaced, and ultimately, while enjoyable enough for a brief escape, it's a forgettable story that could have benefited from a fuller novel format. This was used for the prompt, odd page number. Next is Margaret Atwood's My Evil Mother, another 3-star. The story is quick to read, filled with thought-provoking lines and interesting characters, particularly the realistic portrayal of the mother-daughter relationship, which invokes both laughter and reflection. However, the narrative leaves much unsaid, failing to convincingly convey character motivations despite its first-person perspective. This was used for the prompt 2022 release, also used for the October buzzword relationships. I also finished the Jane Ladling series by Gina Showalter and Jill Munro with Grave New World at only a 3-star. This offers a satisfying conclusion to the series, though it feels more predictable than its predecessors. I identified the killer early on, which diminished some of the suspense, and the ending seemed rushed, leaving me wanting more. However, the romance, which has been building since the first book, was a highlight. The character development from reserved to openly affectionate was well executed. The cozy vibe and sassy writing maintained throughout the series Chipman, a 3-star. This offers a cute and quick holiday romance that captures cozy fall vibes, featuring the whimsical pairing of a witch and a demon trapped in a cat's body due to a curse. The interactions between the characters are charming, though the romance leans heavily into insta-love, making it feel somewhat superficial. The plot lacks depth and could benefit from being more concise, as it stretches over 240 pages, when a shorter novella format might have enhanced the experience. While the spice is enjoyable, it becomes repetitive, and the writing can feel choppy and rushed, particularly towards the end. Despite these shortcomings, the book's syrupy sweet nature and engaging premise made it a fun read for the spooky season. This was used for the prompt, New Author. I read both Travis Baldry's Legends and Lattes and Bookshops and Bone Dust, both 4 stars. Both stories feature charming characters with the lovable orc at the center, whose journeys are both engaging and heartwarming. The romances are sweet and unexpected, which adds depth to the narrative. While the books may lack extensive world building, they shine in character development and the cozy, inviting atmosphere they create, akin to being wrapped in a warm hug. The writing is accessible and humorous, making these reads perfect for those new to fantasy. Overall, I think these are a perfect blend of lighthearted storytelling and relatable character interactions. These were used for the prompts Booktuber's favorite last year, with it being on Meg with Books list and LGBT+. I read the 3rd in the Green Mountain Boys series by Olivia D. Turner, Passion in the Mountains, giving it a 3-star. This fast-paced narrative delivers a blend of sweetness and spice. While some moments may come off as corny, the overall experience is engaging. However, the series does tread familiar ground with similar themes and character dynamics across its books. Additionally, the second epilogue that jumps 40 years into the future feels unnecessary. This book offers a satisfying blend of romance and adventure. This was used for the prompt, Read in one sitting. I reread The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand, still a 4-star. This is a delightful modern retelling of A Christmas Carol, offering a refreshing twist on the classic tale. However, instead of a somber narrative, the book unfolds as a lighthearted and humorous exploration of personal growth. The side characters add charm to the story, each with their unique quirks that enhance the overall experience. While the writing may not be the most poetic, it effortlessly conveys important messages about redemption and self-improvement through candid thoughts and reflection. This book strikes a balance between humor and heartfelt moments, making it an enjoyable read that resonates with themes of second chances and personal transformation. This was used for the prompt, Paperback. The Only Game in Town by Lacey Weldon, a 3-star. While the book begins with engaging enemies to lovers tension and an intriguing plot, it ultimately diverges from traditional romance, focusing more on the community dynamics and relationship itself. I found the story sweet and wholesome, filled with colorful personalities and town drama, but I felt let down by the lack of depth in the game aspect and the predictability of the narrative. Despite these shortcomings, the lighthearted tone and entertaining premise make it an enjoyable read when I was seeking a delightful escape into small town antics. This was used for the prompt for a more word title, also used for the November buzzword only. Stone Cold by Winter Renshaw, a 4-star. This delivers a unexpectedly great read, featuring likable main characters and a cute storyline that avoids unnecessary drama. While the relationship development isn't the deepest, the pining from the moody lawyer hero adds a appealing layer to the narrative. The pacing is commendable, making it a super quick read that satisfies light romance cravings. Although some flashback chapters feel random and detract from the overall flow, the absence of the third act breakup is refreshing, and while the ending leans towards cheesy, it wraps up the story nicely. I wish there was an additional chapter showcasing the characters' future happiness, but the enjoyable elements more than compensate for minor shortcomings. This was used for the prompt. Page count equals around 273. Next was the first in the Secrets of the Nile series by Isabel Ibanez, What the River Knows, a 3-star. This ultimately falls short of expectations. While the premise evokes the adventurous spirit of the mummy, the execution leaves much to be desired. The pacing is notably slow, with the plot dragging as the protagonist spends most of the story uncovering mysteries through frustratingly vague conversations, rather than active investigation. The lack of momentum detracts from the overall experience, making the few dangerous moments feel sparse and unengaging. The budding romance feels forced, lacking the organic chemistry that could have made their relationship compelling. Character development is another weak point. Our female lead's stubbornness often veers into foolishness, while our male's portrayal as a dashing hero feels cliched and predictable. Though there are intriguing twists and a hint of magic tied to ancient artifacts, these elements do not significantly enhance the narrative, leaving me craving more depth and excitement in both plot and character dynamics. This was used for the prompt on somebody else's TBR, with both Becca in the Books and Gavin Reads It All reading it in November. I read Avery Flynn's What You Gonna Do, a 3-star. The cover of this is undeniably captivating, promising an enchanting journey into a magical world. However, the execution falls short, as the story's world building and character development feels rushed and overwhelming. The plot introduces a myriad of elements without providing sufficient context, which left me feeling lost amid the chaos. While the main character is relatable in her struggles, her childishness can be grating, and her chemistry with the male lead feels forced and awkward rather than genuine. Despite the flaws, the book offers moments of fun and lightheartedness, typical of a rom-com. It's easy to read and has its share of cute, binding moments. has an adorable premise filled with fall vibes, but it lacks the depth needed to truly captivate me, making it decent, but not memorable. This was used for the prompt, lowest rated, at only a 3.1. Next was the first two in the Dream Harbor series by Laurie Gilmore, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe and the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, both 4 stars. These deliver the ultimate cozy reading experience, perfect for autumn. Both books feature charming small-town settings, light mystery, and a sprinkle of romance that adds a delightful spice to the narrative. The relationships are reminiscent of a Hallmark movie, but with a bit more heat. These books are described as literally the coziest book ever, blending humor and sweetness in an endearing package, making it an ideal fall read. The cozy vibes and charming interactions make these stories enjoyably escapism. Neither book seem to be groundbreaking, but they are undeniably fun reads that capture the essence of cozy small town life during the fall season. These were used for the prompts Start a New Series and Spicy. My favorite holiday, another 4-star, by Lauren Blakely. This is a delightful holiday romance that expertly blends several beloved tropes, including fake dating, workplace dynamics, and billionaire charm. The chemistry between our leads is right there, with flirtatious banter and playful revenge that quickly evolves into something more genuine. While some parts of the narrative may feel drawn out, the festive setting, complete with a snowy Christmas competition and charming traditions, keep the spirit alive. This is a fun and engaging story that captures the essence of holiday cheer while delivering on romance and humor. This was used for the prompt Random Color. Another reread, The Secret Recipe for Moving On by Karen Bisher, still a 4-star. This is a delightful YA rom-com that captures the essence of teenage drama and the journey of self-discovery. This is filled with humor and warmth, showcasing the beauty of found family. With its quirky side characters and a sweet romantic subplot, this book is perfect for when I'm seeking a light-hearted escape that leaves me smiling after the last page. This is a heartwarming reminder that sometimes the most unlikely friendships can lead to the most meaningful connections. This was used for the prompt to reread. Next was The Mistletoe Motive by Chloe Leese, a 3-star. This offered a charming holiday romance set in a bookstore, featuring the enemies to lovers trope. But the book is imbued with festive cheer and showcases delightful elements like a grumpy sunshine dynamic and secret pen pals. Reminiscent of You've Got Mail, it does suffer from excessive internal monologue and frequent references to romance tropes that can detract from the narrative flow. Despite these drawbacks, the characters' mutual love for reading and their relatable struggles shine through, making it a cute holiday read that evokes warm Christmas feelings, even if it doesn't fully captivate as expected. This was used for the prompt Random Number, also used for the December buzzword Holiday Words. The Shoddy Setup by Lily Vale, a 3-star. This is a charming, slow burn romance that brings exes back together after a 6-year separation, igniting both nostalgia and tension. The story captivates from the start, effortlessly drawing readers into its humorous and engaging narrative as it introduces a vibrant cast of characters. While the initial setup is delightful and filled with comedic moments, the pacing falters in the middle and towards the end, leaving some plot elements feeling unresolved and overly reliant on misunderstandings. Despite its cheesy moments and occasional heavy-handedness, the book offers a light-hearted escape, making it an enjoyable read. This was used for the prompt last pot. A Match Made in Mehendi by Nandini Bajpa, a 3-star. This is a delightful and heartwarming read that beautifully intertwines themes of matchmaking, desi identity, and the complexities of friendship, while addressing the serious issue of bullying. This light-hearted narrative is refreshing as it avoids typical tropes, like the protagonist chasing after the popular jock, instead focusing on genuine friendships and cultural authenticity. While the portrayal of the bully may lean towards cliché, the emotional impact of bullying is sensitively handled. The pacing is brisk, ensuring a engaging experience without unnecessary lags. Overall, this book offers a sweet, fluffy escape that balances fun with meaningful commentary on personal growth and social dynamics. This was used for the prompt young adult. Last was the first in the Hot Jock series by Kendall Ryan, Playing for Keeps, ending the year with a middle-of-the-road 3-star. This is a delightful entry into the sports romance genre, blending sweetness, fun, and a touch of steam. The story revolves around a couple who navigate their feelings as they transition from friends to lovers, all while grappling with the complexities of their relationship. Her being the sister of his best friend adds a enticing layer of forbidden romance. The dual narrative enhances the experience, capturing the characters' evolving emotions effectively. While the book is enjoyable and fast-paced, I found it lacking in character depth and development, particularly towards the conclusion. Nevertheless, the charming dynamic between the leads and the engaging romantic scenes make it a satisfying read that leaves one eager for the next installment in the series. This was used for the prompt Halfling, the Last Read. So, with 26 books read, I was able to cross off all 25 prompts and black out the board to get 13 bingos. For the tokens, I was able to grab 3 for every 10 books read, including the leftovers from last time. 1 for my 12th bingo, and 12 and a half for the bingos, and a half token for the buzzword reading challenge, which gives me 17 tokens two versions. Eighth is anything 3 stars on Goodreads or Storygraph. Ninth prompt is going to be finish or catch up in a series. Next, having the and, of, a, or un in the title. 11th, along with the newest, I also have oldest published. Our 12th prompt is read every day for a week. 13th prompt, TBR veteran. Next prompt, last letter, first letter. If the last thing I read ends in an R, the next thing has to start with an R. 15th is (2019 or before release). Our 16th prompt is going to be a new prompt, an item on the cover. 17th prompt, another new one, an author I have already given a 5-star. Next, this one is animals on the cover. 19th, this one is a good one, an unread book on my physical DBR. This one is to force me to read what I have and not just ebooks. I put all the books I own on a slip of paper and I'm gonna pick them out of the mug. Let's see. Divided Fire by Jennifer Sanfilippo. 20th prompt, contemporary. And last prompt is a standalone. So, that's 3 prompts about the date released, 3 prompts about the ratings, 2 are format based, 2 if it's a standalone or not, 1 about when I purchased the book, 7 challenge prompts, 1 about the content, and 5 cover prompts. Along with the bingo prompts, I have the next 3 months of both buzzword prompts. For the titles, January is the words truth and lies, February is water words, and March is the word thing. And for the cover challenges, we have patterns, skyline, and books. Okay, so those are the prompts and challenges for the next 3 months. I'm excited about what I can read using this board. If you have any questions about anything I've gone over, please put them in a comment. You can also leave any recommendations about what books I can use for these prompts, or any more new prompts you think I can use in the future. And also, let me know how many prompts and bingos you think I'm gonna get. I hope to see you back soon.